To go fast, swimmers have to create a ton of propulsion. Creating propulsion at slow speeds is one thing. Creating propulsion when swimmers are going fast is a whole other game. Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. In this video, we're going to take a look at a strategy that's really effective for helping swimmers not only learn how to create more propulsion, but more importantly, help them learn how to create more propulsion when they're swimming really fast. In order to do that, we have to create a learning environment that gives them a lot of opportunities to learn this critical skill and provide them with a whole new sensory experience so that they can take their skills to the next level. Let's check it out. Speed changes everything. When swimmers start going faster, they need to learn to execute at a whole nother level. They have to create more propulsion and they actually have less time in order to make that happen. So they have to perform their skills better with even more precision. As a result, unsurprisingly, a lot of swimmers struggle to hold water at speed. So we often see big drop-offs in efficiency when swimmers try to go faster, and those are missed opportunities to create speed. A reality of skill development is that challenge is necessary to improve skills. Unfortunately, just swimming fast doesn't necessarily overload the skill of creating propulsion at speed. It may help with really young, really inexperienced swimmers, but once swimmers have been doing a lot of fast swimming, it's no longer a sufficient challenge to push them to create more propulsion and to improve their skills. If we can find ways to make the task of creating propulsion more difficult, we can accelerate change. The more change we can create, the better swimmers' skills, the faster they'll go. A really simple, really effective strategy to help swimmers learn how to hold more water at speed is having swimmers use both fins and tennis balls at the same time. So what's happening here? Well, if we have them swim with tennis balls, we're taking away their hand. So they have to learn how to use their forearm to create propulsion. They got to use their whole arm rather than just focus on their hand. They'll also struggle to feel the water because they've got the ball in their hand. They don't have their hand interacting with the water, so it's tough to feel what's happening. Of course, when they stop using the ball, they open their hand back up, all of a sudden it feels like they're swimming with dinner plates. Fins, on the other hand, dramatically increase the leg drive, the kick that swimmers are able to create. So as a result, swimmers can practice moving through the water a whole lot faster. So again, we want to give them a lot of practice going really fast. Fins help accomplish that goal. As a secondary consequence of the excess leg drive, swimmers are going to feel like their arms aren't doing anything because they're getting so much push from behind, it's harder for them to feel what they're doing with their arms. Now we have two strategies that make it more difficult to hold water, to swim effectively, and it totally changes the sensory perception of what's happening. So now they're in a much more difficult situation where they're at really high speeds and it's hard to hold water. So if they can figure out that they can make progress in that context, it's going to be a whole lot easier to do when they take the training aids away. So by combining the two training aids, we're going to magnify the impact of either one of those training aids. And then as I mentioned, we get rid of the gear. It feels like they're swimming in slow motion and they have gigantic hands and it's so much easier for them to hold a ton of water. So how can we optimize the implementation of this strategy? First is emphasize speed. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go fins and tennis balls for 10 200s. Instead, keep the distances short, keep the volumes low, keep the rest periods short. That's going to allow them to practice their skills at speed. So we're trying to give them as much practice as possible, going fast, executing their skills. With this strategy, it's not about doing a ton of work, it's more about doing that work consistently. So regular exposure, once, twice a week, consistently, that's a lot more effective than doing a big set of 1,000 meters every 2 or 3 weeks. It doesn't take a lot of work per set. It doesn't even take a lot of time per set. They just need consistent exposure to those faster speeds to figuring out how to hold water, again, in that more challenging situation. It's also really useful to do some repetitions with the fins and the tennis balls and then give them a chance to swim without it. It's that contrast and sensation that's really powerful. So if we take the fins away, we open their hands back up, now it's slow motion, now they've got giant hands and they're going to be able to better feel what they're doing, especially when they're trying to go fast. So we're not just using the training aids as a direct learning tool, we're also using them as an opportunity to make regular sprinting, regular swimming more effective. So here are a couple sets that put these ideas into practice. So the first set, they're going to go 3 rounds through. They're going to go 5 25s. First one's head-up backstroke with tennis balls and fins. So the head-up backstroke, it's going to force them to be more aggressive with their rotation, more aggressive with their entries, and they have to time that really well. So they've got to do that and then set up the stroke really quickly because of the tennis balls and the fins. They're trying to build to fast, hold their skills, and when they build to fast, the overall time should be about 100 speed. Then they're going to go regular 25 backstroke, build to fast, again hit 100 speed. Then they're going to go 25 head-up backstroke, tennis balls and fins, just straight up fast. And then they're going to go 25 backstroke, tennis balls and fins, again, just straight up fast. They'll finish it up, 25 backstroke, no equipment, fast, see if they can execute, see if they can drive the shoulders, see if they can get the timing down, and see if they can hold a ton of water. Next set, they're going to go 3 rounds through. They're going to go 2 25s, power pull with a buoy and tennis ball, as few strokes as possible. So they've got one tennis ball there. First one can hold it on the left hand, second one, hold it on the right hand. Then they're going to go 25 butterfly with tennis balls. So they've got both tennis balls and they've got fins on. Then they're going to go 225 single tennis ball with fins, switch hands on each one. Then they're going to go another 25 butterfly, both tennis balls and fins, and that one's fast. Now in those first 3 25s on round 1, they're going to build to fast. They're going to try to hit 100 speed for their overall time. And then on round 2, they're going to minimize stroke count and time, so they've got to be long and fast. And then on round 3, it's just all fast. At the end of each round, they're going to go 50 butterfly. They're going to start at faster than 200 speed, whatever that is, and then they're going to descend those 1 to 3 to fast across the round. So we're using the first 2 25s, set up the drill, help them hold water with their upper body. Then we're going to challenge that with the tennis balls and the fins. We'll do the single tennis ball rep so they can feel a little bit of a difference between the two arms, and then we'll finish it off with a 25 fast again. Tennis ball and fins, trying to be really good, holding a ton of water. Then we take the fins off, open up the hands, and that 50 butterfly, it's going to feel like it's in slow motion. It's going to feel like they have gigantic hands. So a simple strategy to help swimmers learn how to create more propulsion at speed, and by changing the training aids, we can change what they experience and ultimately what they learn. If you want to learn how to use fins to help swimmers create less drag, check out the video below.